3296, 3297, 3298, 3299, 3300, 3301, 3302, 3303, 3304, 3305, 3306, 3307, 3308, 3309, 3310, 3311, 3312, 3313, 3314, 3315, 3316, 3317, 3318, 3319, 3320, 3321, 3322, 3323, 3324, 3325, 3326, 3327, 3328, 3329, 3330, 3331, 3332, 3333, 3334, 3335. Senator Magnus Abe.
Mr. President, my very distinguished and eminent colleagues, I hereby respectfully move that the votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 16th May 2018 be approved. I so move.
Senator Abad Basiakwan.
Thank you, Mr. President, my distinguished and respected colleagues, Mr. President, Senator Albert Akpan, Akwa Ibom Northeast. I rise to second the motion that the vote and proceedings of Wednesday, 16th of May be approved. I so second, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 16th May 2018 be approved, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 16th May 2018 is hereby approved. Announcement. Bill for Conference of 2018 Appropriation Bill. The conference membership will have Senator Najma Ugoji, Chairman, Sonny Ugoji, Barao Jibrin, Brian Rafiu, Senator Matthew Rogidi, and Senator Solomon Adiola members. Please kindly meet with your counterparts in the House of Representatives for the conference on the 2018 Appropriation Bill. On behalf of our colleagues, let me congratulate Senator Buruji and Senator Clifford Odia, whose birthdays on the 18th and 19th of May, respectively. And today, Senator Yele Omogwa, I wish you all a happy birthday and many, many years of good health and service to your constituency and your state and the country at large. Leader of the Senate. Petition, yes, Senator Gershom Bassi.
Thank you, Mr. President. Gershom Bassi, Cross River South. I have five petitions from my constituents against the Nigerian police force for unlawful termination of appointment. They are bad guys. They are not in court. I also have a petition here against the University of Calabar by my constituents on a construction project. I seek your leave to lay these petitions.
Yes, come and lay. Petitions referring to ethics and privileges. Report back in 2 weeks. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the first business of the day is the presentation of the report of the ad hoc committee on the review of current security infrastructure in Nigeria, the summit on national security held on the 8th and 12th February 2018. Mr. President, with your permission, I wish to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report of the ad hoc committee. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate do receive the report of the ad hoc committee on the review of current security infrastructure in Nigeria on the summit on national security held on the 8th and 12th February 2018. I so move, Mr. President.
Senator Joshua Lidani, Gombe South.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to second the motion. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive the report of the ad hoc committee on review of current security infrastructure in Nigeria on the Summit on National Security held 8 and 12 February 2018. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, kindly read the report. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the second business of the day is the presentation of the report of the ad hoc committee on the review of current security infrastructure in Nigeria, the visit to Zamfara State from the 6th to the 8th of March 2018. Mr. President, with your permission, I wish to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report of the ad hoc committee. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate do receive the report of the ad hoc committee on the review of current security infrastructure in Nigeria on the visit to Zamfara State from the 6th to the 8th of March 2018. I so move.
Senator Porker.
Mr. President, Senator Manuel Polka is my name. I rise to second the motion. Ably moved by the leader. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive the report of the ad hoc committee on the review of the current security infrastructure in Nigeria on the visit to Zamfara State from 6 to 8 of March 2018. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, please lay the report. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the third business of the day is the presentation of the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the Firearms Act Amendment Bill 2018. Mr. President, we wish to invite Senator David Umaru, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report.
Senator David Umaru.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, my name is David Umaru. I rise to move motion that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the Firearms Amendment Bill 2018, SB 489. I so move.
Senator Samayamu.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, my name is Samayamu, Imo East. I rise to second the motion ably moved by Senator David Umaru that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the Firearms Act Amendment Bill 2018 SB 489. I so second, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive the report on the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters on the Firearms Act Amendment Bill 2018 SB 489. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator David Umaru. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, The fourth business of the day is the presentation of the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service on the Counseling Practitioners Council of Nigeria, Establishment, etc. Bill 2018. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Emmanuel Polka, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report.
Senator Emmanuel Polka, Bayelsa Central.
Mr. President, Senator Emmanuel Polka is my name. I rise to move that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service on the Counseling Practitioner Council of Nigeria, etc. Bill 2018, SB 636. I so move, Mr. President.
Senator Monsura Sumonu.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Senator Monsura Sumonu. I hereby rise to second that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service on the Counseling Practitioners Council of Nigeria, EST, Bill 2018, SB 636. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive report of the Committee on the Establishment of Public Service on the Counseling Practitioners Council of Nigeria, Establishment, etc. Bill 2018, SB 636. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Polka, come and lay the report. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the fifth business of the day is the presentation of the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service on the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators of Nigeria, Establishment, etc. Bill 2018. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Polka, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report.
Senator Polka.
Mr. President, Senator Emmanuel Polka, Bayelsa Central. I rise to move that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service on the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators of Nigeria, etc. Bill 2018, SB 512. I so move, Mr. President.
Senator Yusuf.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. I want to second the motion that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service on the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators of Nigeria, established Bill 2018 SB 512. I so second.
Senator Ben Murray Bruce. Oh, sorry. Ben. Those in favor that the Senate do consider reports of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service on the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators of Nigeria, Establishment, etc. Bill 2018 SB 512. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Polka, come and lay the report. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the first order of the day is the resumption of adjourned consideration of the report of the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Trade Fund on the Federal Polytechnic Act F-17 Amendment Bill 2018. Distinguished senators will recall that consideration of the report at the Committee of Whole was deferred and referred back to the Committee for further legislative action on Thursday, the 22nd of February 2018. Mr. President, with your permission, I wish to move that the Senate do resolve into Committee of the Whole to resume consideration of the report.
Senator Barack Jibril.
Mr. President, I am Senator Barack Jibril, African North. What remains is the close-by-close consideration of the bill, Mr. President.
We had started it. All right, leader. All right.
Moving to committee of the whole to consider the report close by close.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that we do resolve into the committee of the whole to consider this bill close by close. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, we have 14 clauses here. Clause 1. Those in favor that clause 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. Yes, clause 2. Those in favor that clause 2 should stand part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 3. Those in favor that clause 3 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 4. Those in favor that clause 4 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 5. Those in favor that clause 5 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 6. Those in favor that clause 6 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 7. Those in favor that clause 7 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 8. Those in favor that Clause 8 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 9. Those in favor that Clause 9 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 10. Those in favor that Clause 10 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 11. Those in favor that Clause 11 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 12. Those in favor that Clause 12 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 13. Those in favor that Clause 13 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Jimmy, what was the final conclusion on the issue of this schedule?
The concern that was raised is that unlike the universities, that each has its own act, that we should look at the possibility or otherwise of doing the line of the university. But we look at it this way, that if we decide to do so, it will take a long time to have an act for each polytechnic. And that the present arrangement where whenever a university, a polytechnic is established, then the law has to be amended. That since there's no any negative effect on the functions or operation of these polytechnics, then there's no need we decide to toe the line of polytechnics. That if you decide to, and again, if you decide to do that, then we will leave this, the current, the 9 polytechnics that have been established, that were established during the last administration, allowing it to remain without any legal, any act governing, any act establishing them. So it will be counterproductive to leave them without an act, without an act, establishing them. So we felt that it's better that the amendment should go on, so that these schools will, these polytechnics will be legally established.
Those in favor that schedules 1 and 2 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum on page 17 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the short title Clause 14 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the long title on page 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate reverse to plenary for the charter report progress.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the Senate reverse to plenary to report progress. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TED Fund on the Federal Polytechnic Act Amendment Bill 2018 and approved as follows. Clauses 1 to 13 as recommended, Schedule 1 and 2 as recommended, Short title was recommended. Long title was recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the bill be now read the third time.
I second the motion as moved.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that this bill be now read the third time, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to amend the Federal Polytechnic Act, Cap F17, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to review the retirement age of staff of federal polytechnics, harmonize the tenure of the office of the rector and other principal officers of the federal polytechnics in Nigeria, and for other matters, 2018, third reading.
A bill for an act to amend the Federal Polytechnic Act, Cap F17, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to review the retirement age of staff of federal polytechnics, harmonize the tenure of the office of the rector and other principal officers of the Federal Polytechnic Nigeria, and for other related matters is read the third time and passed. Okay. Yeah. Distinguished colleagues, just a quick announcement, which should have come earlier in the morning. There will be a caucus meeting of all Progressive Congress APC today at 3 p.m. prompt. Meeting room 301. The caucus is to receive the former Governor Adams Oshimole, signed Senate Leader. 3 o'clock prompt, please, in room 301. Those who have not here, please those who are not here, can our colleagues please invite them? And then those that want to come and join can also attend. So that's why we're taking room 301. But if it's not big enough, we'll go to the first floor, 001. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues. Mr. President, I move that we stand down the consideration of the second order of the day based on the request of the committee chairman. This is to enable the committee undertake further legislative work on the report. I so move.
I second that we defer consideration of the second item on order to.
Just before I take that motion, I wanted the chairman to brief us why the delay. Yeah, Senator Shitu.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. A fundamental omission was discovered in the report, so we have resubmitted it for reprinting, and it is hoped to be corrected tomorrow. So we pray that we consider it on Thursday.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion to stand down this item to another legislative day, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the third order of the day is the consideration of the reports of the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition in respect of A, petition from Mr. Donald E. Obey against the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) for alleged wrongful disengagement from the corporation. B, petition from PC Ohadaka Ifeanyi Chiku against Nigeria Police Force for alleged wrongful dismissal from the force. C, petition from Inspector Festus O. Mrakpo against the Police Service Commission for wrongful dismissal from service over alleged misconduct. D, petition from Mr. Lawrence O.P.T. Ogbeni against Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation for alleged wrongful dismissal from the corporation. E, petition from Julex Associates against National Council for Arts and Culture for Operation Harassment and Avoidable Inferno at the Arts and Crafts Village, Abuja. F, petition from Livingstone Seyo against Nigerian Railway Corporation for alleged non-implementation of ministerial approval on promotions. G, complaint from Senator Malam Aluwakili of blessed memory against Mr. Fred Itwa of the Sun newspaper for allegedly misleading the public against the Senate in the Sunday Sun newspaper publication of 22nd of October 2017. And the H petition from I.J. Obiachu Esquire on behalf of the people of Erete village of Amaforo, Autonomous Community Ibeku, Umahia North Local Government Area, Abia State, against Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria, Ibadan, Oyo State for alleged non-compensation for land acquired. I, petition from Comrade Martins Umokri against Eleno Investments Nigeria Limited and Indorama Eleme Petrochemical Company Limited for criminal breach of trust diversion of community funds, and insensitivity. J, petition from Law Students Association of National Open University of Nigeria against the Council of Legal Education for non-inclusion of non-law graduates in the Nigerian Law School program. K, petition from Amadi O. Stephen against Nigerian Prison Service for alleged unlawful dismissal from the service. And L, petition from Dr. Michael S. of Pile K against the Managing and Governing Board of Radiographers Registration Board of Nigeria for alleged unlawful verbal termination of his appointment by the board. Mr. President, distinguished senators, we recall that these reports were laid on Wednesday, the 14th of February 2018, Thursday, the 19th of April 2018, Thursday, the 22nd of March 2018, and Wednesday, the 16th of May 2018, respectively. Mr. President, you may wish to invite very distinguished Senator Samuel Anyanwu to move the motion for the Senate to consider the report of the committee.
Senator Sam Anyanwu, Imo East.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleagues, Sam Anyanwu, Imo East. Mr. President, on behalf of the Senate, I move that the Senate do consider the report of the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions in respect of the items read out by the leader from item A to L. I so move, Mr. President.
Senator Babaka Kakaba.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. I am Babaka Bashir Garbai. I represent Borno Central Senatorial District. I stand to second that the Senate do consider the report of the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition in respect of the underlisted items. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Sam Anyanwu, can present your reports.
Thank you, Mr. President. Once again, Sam Anyanwu, Imo East. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the Senate will record that on Wednesday, 2nd December 2015, rising under the 41, Senator Amori Igoyota, Delta Central, drew the attention of the Senate to a petition from his constituent, Mr. Donald E. Ovie, against the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, for alleged wrongful disengagement from the corporation and urged the Senate to look into the matter. To allow under 41.3, the Senate referred the petition to the Committee on Ethics. Now I go to observations on finding item 5.0 on page 5. After going through the oral and written submissions of both parties, the committee observed as follows. 1. That the petitioner, Mr. Donald E. Ovie, was actually employed as a security guard on 20 December 1984 by NNPC and was later transferred to PPMC Yola Depot as a loader based on his application which was granted. 2. That when the petitioner resumed duty at the Yola Depot on 18 March 1996, the then depot chief, Alhaji Usman Mohammed, did not allow him to work as a loader, for which he was posted there, on the ground that he could not understand or speak Hausa. Instead, he was asked to work as a security guard. 3. That on the 18th, 19th, and the 16th of May 1996, a theft of petroleum products was committed by staff of the department, and when a committee was set up to trace the theft, it was discovered that 3 staff were involved, including Mr. Donald Ovie. 4. That the police were called in to investigate the matter. That they also came with the finding that 3 staff stole PMS and sold it to one Babangida Abdullahi. The police confirmed this in writing and recommended that the staff involved be dealt with in accordance with the civil service rules. 5. That based on this position, PPMC approved the termination of their appointments. On 9 October 1997, however, they were dismissed instead. 6. That one of those alleged to have stolen PMS, Mr. Lawrence Opiti, was in 2004 issued a letter of retirement instead of dismissal and was advised to report at the appropriate office of NNPC to collect his benefits. And 7. That the committee is of the strong opinion that since one of the 3 people alleged to have committed the same offense has his punishment reduced from dismissal to retirement, all the others be given the same treatment. Recommendation. Following the findings above, the committee wishes to recommend that since Lawrence Opiti's punishment has been reduced from dismissal to retirement, the same rule should apply to Donald Ovie and H.M. Umar, and accordingly be retired by BPMC/NNPC and pay their terminal benefits. 2, that the Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream be mandated to ensure compliance. Thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity.
Any comments here? If not, I'll go straight to the recommendation. Recommendation 1, that since Lawrence Pitty's punishment has been reduced from dismissal to retirement, the same rule shall apply to Donald Ovie and H.M. Umar, and accordingly be retired by PPMC and NPC and pay their terminal benefits. Those in favor of recommendation 1 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Recommendation 2, that the Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream be mandated to ensure compliance. Those in favor of recommendation 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you, Chairman Ethics. Next report.
Thank you, Mr. President, colleagues. The Senate will record that on Wednesday, 12th July 2017, President of 41, Senator Benjamin C. Owajimogu Imo North, drew the attention of the Senate to a petition from his constituent, PC Ohadaka Chuku, against Nigerian Police Force for alleged wrongful dismissal for the force and urged the Senate to look into the matter. In line with Order 41.3, the matter was referred to the committee. Vote of observation of findings. Item 5.0 on page 4. After going through oral and written submissions of both parties, the committee observed as follows. 1, that the petitioner PC Ohadaka actually applied for 7 days casual leave on 3 different occasions to go to hospital because of his health, but could not wait to get approval before he left his duty post. 2, that the petitioner PC Ohadaka on his return was detained for 1 month from 15th March 2011 to 15th April 2011, tried and dismissed orally for desertion. And 3, that based on the frank response of the police constable, the committee appealed to the force to reconsider the matter on.
Any comments on it before I put the question? If not, let me put the recommendation that the petitioner be reinstated back to Nigeria. Chairman, you say it's already been reinstated, has it? So we accept the report as presented. Next report.
Thank you, Mr. President, colleagues. The Senate will record that on Thursday, 27th April 2017, President of 41, Senator Ovie Omogege, Delta Central, drew the attention of the Senate to a petition from his constituent, Inspector Festus O. Murapo, against the Police Service Commission for wrongful dismissal of service over alleged misconduct and urged the Senate to look into the matter. In line with Order 41.3, the matter was referred to the committee for the stative investigation. Observation and findings. Item 5.0 on page 5. After carefully studying the submissions and other presentations of the Inspector Festus Orapo and the Police Service Commission, the committee noted as follows. 1, that Inspector Festus Orapo was actually enlisted into the Nigerian Police Force in June 1974 and was dismissed at the rank of Inspector of Police in June 1983 without following due process for allegedly traveling without permission. 2, that a Lagos High Court in 2006 overturned the wrongful dismissal of the officer 20 years after challenging his dismissal in the court and ordered the PSC to reinstate the officer. 3, that the PSC challenged the judgment of the High Court at the Appeal Court, Lagos, and the Appeal Court, after 10 years of appeal, affirmed the judgment of the High Court to reinstate him in May 2016. And 4, that in a letter of January 2017, the PSC, in compliance with judgment of Appeal Court, reinstated Inspector Festus Orapo in June 1983, and at the same time retired him June 2009 at the rank of Inspector of Police, the same rank he had in 1977, 32 years after. And 5, that the committee actually appealed to the Police Service Commission of such the humiliation and suffering of Inspector Festus Orapo especially as the error of his dismissal was that of the police by retiring him in a rank that could be reasonably satisfying. Recommendation. In view of the findings above, the committee hereby recommends as follows: that the Police Service Commission, having cut short the career progression of Inspector Festus O. Orabo in the service of the Nigerian Police Force by being responsible for his wrongful dismissal, should withdraw the letter retiring the officer at the rank of Inspector of Police and issue him a fresh letter retiring him in the highest rank possible within the powers of the Police Service Commission to grant, and then two, pay him all entitlements in accordance with the new rank at which he would now be retired. Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Colleagues, for the opportunity to serve. Thank you.
Any comments, observations? If not, we'll go straight to recommendation. Recommendation 1, that the Police Service Commission, having cut short the career progression of Inspector Ferris Mapo in the service by being responsible for his wrongful dismissal, should withdraw the letter retiring the officer at the rank of Inspector and issue him a fresh letter retiring him in the highest rank possible within the powers of the Commission. Those in favor of this recommendation say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And recommendation 2, pay him all entitlements in accordance with the new rank at which he will now be retired. Those in favor of recommendation 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. Next report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Esteemed colleagues, the Senate will record that on Wednesday, 18th November 2015, Rise Order 41, Senator Amori Iguota, Delta Central, drew the attention of the Senate to a petition from his constituent, Mr. Lawrence Opiti Ogbeni, against Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation for a lawful dismissal from the corporation and urged the Senate to look into the matter. In line with Order 41.3, the matter was referred to the committee for investigative investigation. Observations of finding item 5.0 on page 5. After going through the oral and written submissions of both parties, the committee has observed as follows. 1. That the petitioner, Mr. Lawrence Opiti Ogbeni, was actually employed as an operator in 1978 by NNPC and was later deployed to PPMC Yola Depot. There was a problem product theft at the Yola Depot, and when investigated, it was found out that the act was committed by a staff of the depot, and that the committee set up to investigate the matter discovered that Mr. Opiti Donald Ovie Haj Omar were involved, that the police were later called on to investigate the matter. The police also returned the verdict that the petitioner and 2 others named after were indicated. That the matter is a different thing. Of course, this thing is the same thing with the first one we did, but there are different petitions. That the petitioner, Mr. Lawrence Opiti, was actually dismissed from the corporation on account of allegation and the police force and the police report on 9th October 1970. And that dismissal was later commuted to retirement after many letters of appeal, but he was not given a copy of the retirement letter. Neither was he paid any benefits. Recommendation. Following from the findings above, the committee wishes to recommend that the retirement letter of Lawrence Opiti Ogbeni be released to him and all his entitlements be paid to him immediately. That the Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream be mandated to ensure compliance. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any comments or contributions? Pretty straightforward, I think. Yes, and to James Manja.
Straightforward, but then paragraph 2 of the observations. It is stated that the theft was actually investigated and confirmed that yes, these people were guilty, and that there was also a police report which confirmed the fact that these people actually stole the products. So when there's a retirement letter on paragraph 4 that there was indeed the dismissal was later committed to retirement, were they able to confirm from the authorities that there were these people, they decided to retire them? was confirmed. And okay, the letter was not given to them. Okay. On what basis were they retired after since they confirmed that they stole?
Yes, Chairman.
You know, of course, we are aware the difference between termination and dismissal. It is based on serial appeal, you know, to the corporation that those staff, the first person dismissal was committed to termination. So the same process has to pass through 3 of them. That was why there were different reports. So actually NNPC are confirmed that they forgive them. They had to terminate them, but the problem is to give them the letter of termination. That was what we recommended, that they should be given the letter of termination and pay their benefit. Because you know when you are dismissed, there's no benefit. Once they are terminated, you have benefit. And since the corporation on their own decided to terminate them on their own, they have to pay them the benefits. Thank you.
All right, we go to recommendation. The retirement letter of Mr. Lawrence Opiogbeni be released to him and all retirement be paid immediately. Those in favor of recommendation 1, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And recommendation 2, that the Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream be mandated to ensure compliance. Those in favor of recommendation 2, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Next report.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. The Senate will record that on Tuesday, 6 March 2018, Rising Order 41, Senator Ibrahim A. Gobre, Sokoto East, drew the attention of the Senate to a petition from Julius Associates on behalf of African Arts and Cultural Heritage Association against the National Council for Arts and Culture for oppression, harassment, and avoidable inferno at the Arts and Crafts Village, Abuja, and urged the Senate to look into the matter. In line with Order 41.3, the matter was referred to the committee. On item 5.0, Mr. President, observation of finding. After carefully studying the evidence provided by the respondent, corroborated by the petitioner, the committee noted that it could not continue with the matter, especially as the action was at the instance of the petitioner. Recommendation: having carefully studied the evidence provided by the respondent and the petitioner from the findings above, the committee wishes to recommend that the matter be struck out from its role of petitions since it was before the court of law. Both the petitioner and the respondent agreed, and of course my colleague who presented this petition never told us that the matter was in court. So it was in the process of trying to deliberate. We discovered the matter was in court, so I cannot be able to handle that matter. They have agreed to settle out of court. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. I think this matter should not have even been forwarded to ethics and privilege in the first place in line with our rules. Please, distinguished colleagues, please let's take note that we all strict and comply strictly. Once the matter is in court, it cannot come before ethics and privileges. Chairman, next report.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. The Senate will record on Tuesday, 5th December 2017, Rising Order 41. Senator David Omaro, Niger the East, drew the attention of the Senate to a petition from Livingstone Nseyo against Nigerian Railway Corporation for alleged non-implementation of ministerial approval on promotions and urged the Senate to look into the matter. In line with Order 41.3, the matter was referred to the committee for legislative investigation. In item 5.0 on page 5, observations and findings. After thoroughly going through oral and written submissions of both parties, the committee observed as follows. 1. That the petitioner, Livingstone Nseyo, joined the service of the Nigerian Railway Corporation on 28 July 1982 as a messenger and progressively rose to executive officer personnel on grade level 07 on 1st January 1997. 2. That the petitioner Livingstone Nseyo actually went for an upgrading interview in 2003 but was not successful because he scored below 60%, which was the pass mark. 3. That the petitioner Livingstone Nseyo was retired from the corporation on 1st December 2005 with other staff as a result of a government restructuring exercise, but was later recalled back to duty on humanitarian ground on 29 March 2006. 4. That when the embargo placed on promotion in the Nigerian Railway Corporation was lifted in 2009, the petitioner was promoted 3 times between 2009 and 2016 on merit without any external pressure. And 5. that Livingstone Senior was fond of contacting important people to influence his promotion or other privileges guided sufficiently by the public service rules. Promotions are earned when vacancies occur. Therefore, he could not be promoted to level 15 because of years lost. He should wait and earn his promotion to the next level, next rank. Recommendation: following from the findings above, the committee wishes to recommend as follows: that Mr. Livingstone Senior be advised to wait and earn his promotions, as promotions are not based on passage of time. 2, that Mr. Livingstone Senior be warned to desist from constantly running to influential people to help on matters already sufficiently provided for in the public service rule. Thank you, Mr. President.
Comments, observation? If now go straight to recommendation that Mr. Livingston Sayo be advised to wait and earn his promotions, as promotions are not based on passage of time. Those in favor of recommendation 1 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And recommendation 2, that Mr. Livingston Sayo be warned to desist from constantly running to influential people to help on matters already sufficiently provided for in the public service rules. Those in favor of recommendation 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Next report.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. The Senate will record that on Tuesday, 24th October 2017, rising order 40, order 18, led Senator Malam A. Wakili, may so rest in peace, Bauchi Central, drew the attention of the Senate to an publication in Sunday Sun newspaper of 22nd October 2017, written by Mr. Fred Itua, with the heading "Pay as you go Senate probes," which insinuated that most of the ad hoc committees of the Senate were inconstituted to settle scores or make chua-chua, and urged the Senate to investigate the matter. In line with Order 41.3, the matter was referred to the Committee on Ethics for the Senate investigation. Item 5.0. After taking a close look at the submissions of both parties on the matter, the committee observed as follows: that Mr. Fred Itua actually wrote the article entitled "Pay as you go Senate probes," which insinuated that most of the ad hoc committees of the Senate were considered to settle scores or make chua-chua. 2, that Mr. Fred Itua, the communist, explained that the said article emanated from him and that it was an ordinary article, not a story that an editor must edit before publishing. 3, that he regretted writing the article and promised to retract it and apologize to the Senate, which he did in the Sunday Sun newspaper of 3rd December 2017 on page 41. And 4, that in his apology, he explained that he had a lot of respect for the senators, the red chamber, and would not deliberately neglect it. Recommendation. Following from the findings above, the committee wishes to recommend that since Mr. Fred Itua had officially retracted his story and apologized to the entire Senate through the committee, his publication be overlooked. Thank you, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of this recommendation say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So the apology went in the Sunday newspaper of the 3rd of December. Yes? Okay, and that was well carried. I think. Yes, go ahead, Senator.
I think I have a quarrel with the word overlook, because I think he committed an offense against the Senate, and he has apologized. All what we do is to accept his apology instead of overlooking it. Overlooking it, in my humble view, does not fit into this particular that is the way I see it. That's just the minor amendment.
Yeah, I think you've come up with a good point. I think it can be an amendment to say that we do accept his apology. So I'll put the question that if it's the wish of the committee to accept his apology, those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. Yeah, exactly. So we formally accept his apology and do hope that some of these newspapers become more responsible in ensuring that they have accurate facts and do not go out and abuse the integrity of the chamber on facts that are baseless, has not supported by facts. But we do accept his apology. Chairman, next report.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. The Senate will recall that on Thursday, 9th November 2017, Rising Order 41, Senator David Omaro, Niger East, drew the attention of the Senate to a petition from I.J. Obiaju Esquire on behalf of people of Eruete, village of Ama Oforo, Autonomous Community, Ibek, Umahia, North Local Government Area, Abia State, against Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria, Ibadan, Oyo State, for alleged non-compensation for land acquired, and urge the Senate to look into the matter. In line with Order 41.3, the Senate referred the petition to the Committee on Ethics. Item 5.0 on page 6, observations and findings. After thoroughly going through the oral and written submissions of the both parties, the committee observed as follows. 1. That the federal government actually acquired a large piece of land in Ama Oforo Autonomous Community Ibeku, Umahia North Local Government Area of Abia State, that was converted to a substation of the Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria, and all the agricultural improvements thereon were ceded to the Cocoa Research Institute. 2. That the payment was hindered as a result of claim of ownership of the same land by other villages within the Amoforo Autonomous Community, Ibeku, Umahia North Local Government Area, and this made the federal government to step down the payment pending the determination of the rightful owners of the land. 3. That this claim of ownership by the Avunku people over Okata Eruete land cocoa farm against the people of Eruete village was a subject of litigation in 3 different courts of competent jurisdiction: High Court in Imo State, Court of Appeal in Enugu State, and Supreme Court of Nigeria in Lagos State. And the judgments were delivered on 27th February 1973, 12th February 1985, and 7th April 1995, respectively, in favor of Eruete village of Amofro Autonomous Community as the rightful owners of the said land. 4. That after the last judgment by the Supreme Court of Nigeria on 7th April 1995, the people of Eruete village, through Mrs. Women Nigeria Limited, wrote to the Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria demanding for compensation over the cash crops and other agricultural improvements on Okata Eruete land cocoa farm, as envisaged in the agreement between them and the Institute at the time of the acquisition in 1972, and that the Institute replied and advised them to forward their complaint to compensation to their parent ministry, Federal Ministry of Agriculture. And 5, that based on that, Mrs. Women Nigeria Limited wrote to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and copied the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice requesting for the compensation, but that it had not been paid. Recommendation. Following from the findings above, the committee wishes to recommend: 1. That the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, in consultation with Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria, should pay the agreed compensation to the people of Eruete village of Amofro Autonomous Community, Ibeku, Umahia North Local Government Area of Abia State, who have been declared the rightful owner of the land acquired. And 2, that the Committee on Agriculture be mandated to ensure compliance. Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Colleagues, for opportunity to serve.
Comments, observations? We now go straight to recommendation. Those in favor of recommendation 1, say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. Those in favor of recommendation 2, say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. Thank you. Next report.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Colleagues. The Senate will record that on Tuesday, 14th March 2017, Rising Order 41, Senator Clifford A. Odia, Edo Central, drew the attention of the Senate to a petition from his constituent, Comrade Martis Omokri, against Elano Investment Nigeria Limited and Indorama LMA Petroleum Company Limited for criminal breach of trust, diversion of community funds, and insensitivity, and urged the Senate to look into the matter. In line with Order 41.3, the matter was referred to the Committee on Ethics. Item 5.0 on page 10, observations and findings. After sitting severally and deliberating on the crucial issues raised and studying bulky submissions received, the committee noted as follows. 1. That all the troubles, additions, killings, and burnings that took place around Indorama LMA Petroleum Company Limited and environs were consequent upon the perception around the offer, allotment, purchase, management, and payment of dividends on the 7.5% equity shares held by Elano Investment Limited on behalf of the 7 communities of Indorama LMA Petroleum Company Limited. 2. There are the agitations and restlessness of concerned parties could be assuaged if more transparency and greater participation of communities involved was encouraged. 3. That pursuant to above, a board of trustees be set up at the community level for each of the 7 host communities instead of the Elano board that had been responsible. That these boards of trustees shall receive from Elano Investment Limited all the funds and entitlements due to their respective communities, and these trustees would in turn manage the development and programs of each community as they might deem necessary to embark on. 4. That Elano Investment Limited should pay over to the communities through the boards of trustees their entitlements, and it will be left for individual communities to decide what development or program they wish to embark upon. 5. That each board of trustees should have tenure of office for persons who occupy administrative or official positions in the trusteeship. And 6. That although some of the dispute has been resolved, speedy and amicable resolution of the